This is Joy Rowland, and you're listening to the Joyful Money Podcast. This is episode number 83, Declutter to Achieve Success with Mary T. Allen. Welcome to Joyful Money, the podcast where we focus on making money the joyful way. We are done with the stress and anxiety that typically come with making money. Will feature extraordinary and inspiring business owners who are making a huge impact by sharing their gifts and talents with the world. Pour yourself a cup of coffee or tea and let's go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Joyful Money Podcast. I am excited for my guest today. Her name is Mary T. Allen, and she is an exceptional human being and also an exceptional coach. I cannot wait for you to learn from her wisdom. I met Mary a couple of weeks ago, and as soon as we chatted, we just connected, and I love the work she's doing. I love her message, and I'm like, you have to come on my show. And I begged, and she graciously agreed, and I cannot wait for you to learn from her wisdom. Join me in welcoming Mary to the show. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Joyful Money Podcast. I am so excited. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the excitement on my face. The reason I'm excited is because I have a special guest. And my special guest today is Mary T. Allen. Mary is an exceptional coach and she has a lot we can learn from. Welcome to the show, Mary.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
Awesome. So then, Mary, why don't you start by introducing yourself and telling us what you do?
Yes, so I am Mary T. Allen. You said that, and I am a clutter and feng shui coach, and I primarily help caregivers of people who are caring for their own parents, and maybe found themselves in that role unexpectedly and end up with more stuff, physical stuff, and to do stuff than they thought. However, I am a coach for all people who want to clear clutter and create higher vibration energy in their lives and homes.
Oh my God, that's so spot on. Like, because of your energy. Like, I'm glad you mentioned high vibration energy because that's how I connected with you. Because we were on a Zoom call and I saw your energy, I'm like, you have to come on this podcast because I know people have a lot to learn from you. So tell us, how did you choose this niche? How did you hone in? Because this is a very valuable niche, right? Because we have many people have clutter in their homes. And it's not just the physical clutter. Many times it's
Yes.
the mental. So how did you discover this niche and how did you go all in?
So it's kind of been a process, and I think when I became a coach, it's really funny because I have been clearing clutter kind of just like by instinct. It's like the thing that I have always done to help with my own anxiety. And I mean, from a very little kid, I remember in the first grade, I got the Clean Desk Award from my teacher. I've always been doing it. I've always helped family. I would rearrange things and help my family get rid of things just from a very young age. But when I became a coach, it was not immediately apparent to me that that's what I wanted to help people with and specialize in. But I think eventually you start helping people over and over. You see the things come up and you realize, oh, this is where I really shine. This is where I can really help people. So first it was kind of clutter clearing and home organization, which again, throughout my life, I've been helping people with that, but it was always just kind of like, sure, I'll come over this weekend and help you do this project. But the caregiving aspect of it came into play because I am a caregiver myself. My
Mm.
mother, who's 84, lives with me. And it's not that I didn't want to do that. I think everything we always, it's important to remember that everything we do in our lives is always a choice. We're choosing it. And I choose to care for my mother. But even that said, it doesn't come without challenges and obstacles. And for people who are my age, the clutter is not typically as much of a problem as it is for older generations, simply
Mm.
because we are not as likely to buy an expensive china set or have a silver tea service, but we inherit those things, and people my age don't really know what to do with them because it just doesn't match the pace of life anymore. But then there's so much emotions tied to it, generational trauma, generational feelings, all of that comes into play. And especially when you're caring for a parent, either in your home or theirs, suddenly it feels like there's not enough room for everybody's needs.
Mm.
So in dealing with this myself and having to clutter clear with my mom and me to combine households, I started to realize that this is an issue for other people. I had friends whose parents passed away, and suddenly they had all of this stuff they didn't know what to do with, and they were so emotionally attached to their parents, they didn't know what to do with the stuff. They didn't want to throw it away necessarily, but they also couldn't take care of it. So it's just through experience, trial and error, and then of course my own um, life path that's brought me to this specialty.
Wow. Wow, I like that so much. Because many people, as you know, would have a desire to start a business and they're stuck in this cycle of what's my niche, right? So I like your story. I like how you share this, and hopefully somebody listening to us can have ideas on how to hone in on exactly how they want to help people. So then, Mary, for the number of clients you have, you help a number of people. What's the process? Like, what's your unique process in helping people deal with clutter?
Um, yeah, so typically the hardest part for everybody is just getting started. So the my methodology is to make it simple, which is to say
Mm,
that it's uncomplicated, and I make it so that it's actually fun. And the way that I do that is when you can connect with yourself. So in feng shui is a branch of traditional Chinese medicine, and it's all about a person's Tao, which is their connection to the universe. So the first thing that we always do is we connect with a person's Tao. And a lot of that is about taking care of yourself and doing really kind things for yourself, speaking kindly about yourself, acting kindly towards yourself, and really getting in touch with it, what it is that your heart wants. And when you are connected with your Tao, it is you begin to push out all of the things that aren't relevant to your life anymore. So instead of filling a room with stuff, you fill it with possibility for your own life. So connecting with yourself and with your intention and your Tao and knowing what it is that you want is the first step. But then
mm,
from there, we just make it fun. So, how is it fun for you when you're connected to yourself? Is it more fun when you have a friend? Is it more fun doing it in small spurts? Is it more fun if you have an ice cream cone at the end? So, we do things that are fun for the person so that they can get started and see what a change this small, high impact
mm,
project will have in their lives. And usually it goes from there because everyone's needs are unique. But getting started, getting over that hurdle, sometimes they don't realize that if they connect with their intention, it's so much different. If someone just tells you to clean out your refrigerator, there are certain steps that everyone would want to throw out spoiled food and things like that. But if you do it from a place of intention and loving yourself, you can hold each food and energetically determine, your body will tell you, does this feel good when it's around my body? Does it feel good when I eat it? And it's a completely different process of cleaning out your refrigerator than if you just followed some steps on a page that have nothing to do with who you are inside.
wow. That's so powerful what you just said. Like having to help your clients put themselves first and then identify what it is that they need. It's almost like you're teaching them to love themselves, and a byproduct of that love is clearing the clutter. Because many times we
100%.
struggle as individuals to love ourselves, right?
Yes. And if you are not able to love yourself, you can't clear out. Clutter is about unmade decisions because you don't know who you are, you're disconnected. Everything feels overwhelming. You become at the effect of life. When you're connected with yourself, which is so, so powerful, you're not at the effect of life. You are the cause of life and you are the cause of you can clear things out. But as anybody knows who is a caregiver of any kind, whether it's of children, their parents, or pets, if you don't take care of yourself, there's not enough of you to take care of someone or something else. Even if you're just taking care of plants, if you die, there's nobody to water the plants. You have to take care of yourself first.
Wow. Wow. This is so profound. So then, based off of your experience with working with clients, what have you seen to be the ripple effect of doing this work? Like, I want to use the phrase side effects. Like,
Right.
after doing this work with you, like, what do they see as a consequence of doing a consequence is a negative word, but you know what I mean, right? What's the
Yes.
benefit that keeps coming back after they've done this work with you?
Yeah, so it can really be anything. It's like it's so tremendous. I One of my very first clients was actually a friend of mine. This was before I even was certified as a coach. I was helping her and she sent me an email. I had actually forgotten about the session. She sent me an email a year later. We'd had one hour session and she said, since since I worked with you, I've lost 100 pounds. I joined the gym and I I am not a weight loss coach. She said, I've completely moved houses. I've let go of, I think she said like over 1,000 bags of garbage. She had, and she had like a different method of, she had been caring for her father who had dementia. And she, even though she's a nurse herself, she was having all of this conflict about being able to care for him and still being a daughter. And that was kind of what our session was about. And she had strengthened her relationship with her father. She had strengthened her relationship with her whole family. There were all of these ripple effects that she didn't, and I was completely surprised
Wow.
because, that's not what we had coached on at all, but it was because she became connected with herself and what she really wanted. And then I run a regular challenge group that's 10 days and it's short projects every day for 10 days along with the coaching that goes with it. And we just cleared medicine cabinets one day, and the next day a lady came on to the coaching session and she said, because of what we talked about, I was finally able to go and file some papers for my divorce that had been holding me back. And this whole, I guess I would say, like, open space opened up for her in her ability to care for her kids without always feeling like she was at the effect of her ex-husband. And just, I mean, it's very surprising things. It's all of the things that we have been saying we'll get to later. Like there's some other there that's not here. Like we can't enjoy our lives right now. And suddenly when you clear just a little stumbling block that you perceive as a huge obstacle, suddenly this huge space opens for you in your life to let the light in or whatever possibility it is that you want for your life. So I honestly never know. People find money, people I mean, they'll find money, like they'll find a check or they'll find change everywhere, or they'll find a new opportunity. People have changed jobs. I mean, I never know what's going to happen. And I certainly don't guarantee any results like that because it's completely different for everyone. But everyone in the world has clutter, and it's simply unmade decisions that are blocking the path to wherever it is that we want to be in our lives. And when you can get in touch with yourself, you can really identify what those are, and then they're easily cleared.
Yes. Like, I can so relate to this, and I think maybe that's why I got attracted to your work and your energy because in my personal life in the past, I have a closet, and sometimes when I wear clothes and I come at the end of the day after work and I take off my clothes, I just, instead of putting them on the hanger, I just put them on the floor or on my travel box or anything in the closet. And it keeps going on like that for weeks, for months, and all those clothes, like all my closet just looks very scattered, like, and then one day, when I gather the strength to clean up and clear the clutter, it's almost like half of my brain opens up. It's almost like my mind frees up and there's so much space. Like just being in an environment that is clean and clear of clutter just opens up my mind. And like you said, opens up your mind and you just get new opportunities or new ideas come for your business, for example. So I can attest to the power of the work you do. And like I said at the beginning, I think this is hugely valuable for many people. So then, next question for you, Mary, is how I know you help people who work with care, like people who are carers for either their parents, children, pets, plants. So how do you advise? Maybe someone is listening and they are carers and they're just under a fog, right? Because it is hard work having to care for
Mhm.
somebody else. And it almost feels like you need respite. Like sometimes, even me, I just have
Yes.
one daughter. And even if it's once a month, I just need someone to be with her so I can just have my own space and just think for myself. Maybe that could be a weekend, just one weekend, no daughter in the house, no one in the house, just for myself to recharge, right? So if someone is taking care of a loved one and it's a very stressful job, how do you advise people to handle that stress?
Yeah. So there, I mean, I always think there's nothing that can't be cured by loving and caring yourself for yourself more. And I know absolutely from experience, it does feel like there's no time for that, but
Mm,
you have to prioritize it. It is as important as any other thing that you will do. I would say in terms of priorities, it's right up there with eating and sleeping. You've got to sleep, you've got to eat, you've got to exercise and move your body. And it doesn't, I think a lot of times people think, oh, well, if I'm not going out there and I'm not running a marathon, then it's not worth the effort. But you can take 10 minutes for yourself. You can take 15 minutes for yourself. And in fact, the way that I teach clutter clearing, because it feels overwhelming, especially if you walk into a garage and it's floor to ceiling boxes and family archives, and half of the stuff is roach infested or water damaged or whatever it else, you feel like I'll never break through this wall. And it's the same with our time. It feels like I'll never break through it. But when you
mm,
become very intentional about your time, I'm going to spend this 30 minutes to take a walk and listen to a podcast or just take some deep breaths or notice nature. When you are so intentional about your time, you really get to enjoy it because your body will make you take time for yourself, but you won't necessarily enjoy the benefits of it. Just like when people are burned out and they're frustrated with their lives and then they go to Facebook and they scroll and scroll and scroll, they are
mm,
removing themselves from their pain in a way, but they're not doing it in a way that's intentional. So it's almost like their body doesn't even absorb the break. They just sort of like numb out, or they go and have a donut, or they have alcohol or smoke or something that's not necessarily creating a positive effect in their lives in the same way that taking a walk or taking a hot bath in an intentional way with love for yourself does. And that 30 minutes by yourself, 15 minutes of clutter clearing, whatever it is, has ripple effects in your whole life. That you might change the way you perceive yourself by cleaning out your closet because your closet is how you express yourself to the world. You might start to feel more fit because you're going on these daily walks, 15 minutes a day. You might just be able to separate yourself from such reactive behavior by taking a bath. So it's this. There's a saying: a stitch in time saves nine. So this time for you, it really is a stitch in time, and the repercussions of it are multiplicative. So,
mm.
yes, what I would say for everybody is time is not outside of you. You are in control of your time. And the way that you start having control over your whole life is by starting with yourself for just a few minutes at a time and seeing how much power is there. And you start to see your power multiply. I'm not sure if that
Wow.
answered your question. I hope it did.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Mary. So then, how do you combine like your work caring for your mom? How are you able to combine that with building a business and a successful business like you have?
Yeah, so I think that's actually been one of the amazing things about having a virtual business. And I I do encourage people that whatever they want or need in their lives, they have to believe that it's available to them. And after I got divorced, my employment went away because I owned a business with my ex-husband, and but I actually was very unhappy in the job outside of the marriage. I was not interested in. I was doing accounting and work that just was not very fulfilling to me. So I had
Mm,
to find a means of employment, but at the same time, I also had to take care of my mother, and I just believed that the
mm,
right solution was available to me. And being a coach has been amazing because not only have I been able to learn things that I can share with other people by doing this work myself, because I am doing this work every day for myself. I do clutter clearing. I've always been a practitioner of it. I have a lot of feng shui practices in my home and in my life. I do care for my mom. Also, I take her to appointments. I drive her almost every place. I make all her food. I make all the food for my two kids. I have three dogs. I have a house that I take care of. So I had to find a way to balance that. But I think
Mm.
being really intentional for your life, when you're intentional, it helps you realize the things that are not important to you, like those things that we put on a to-do list and they keep getting moved from list to list to list because they're not actually important to you. So why keep bogging your life down with those things? When you become really intentional and clear about what's super important to you, you can focus all your energy on those things. And for me, my non-negotiables are taking care of my family, which is my mom and my kids and my pets, and taking care of myself and my business. So I put all the energy there. And when I know that when an opportunity comes along that is not in alignment with those things, I can
Mm.
see that even if it's a valuable opportunity for someone, it is clutter in my life. And so I can let it go with confidence about who I am and what I want.
Wow, I love that so much. So someone is listening and they're like, oh gosh, I need to take this to the next level. So, Mary, can you tell the listeners how can they work with you? What are your offers? I know you graciously offered us a freebie, which you can talk about and add the links to the show notes. So go ahead and tell us where can we find you and how can
Okay,
we work?
yes. So if you go to my webpage, www.cluttergenius.com, you can join my email list there. And when you do, you get a freebie, which is it's a flow chart for how to declutter and make decisions easily. It's just by asking yourself some simple yes or no questions. So often what happens when we can't make a decision about clutter is we tremble and we hold on to it and it holds us back and it doesn't keep us moving forward. So this flow chart allows you to pick up any item in your house, this folder, this coffee mug, and ask yourself these questions about it and decide if it really has a place in your life according to what it is that your heart truly desires. And it helps
Mm.
you process clutter very quickly. So you get that if you join my email list. The other thing is on my website, you can see how every Friday I have a free session called the Friday Tidy. And people can work on absolutely anything there. A lot of people come there to close out their week. I teach people how to clear out their inbox, take you to inbox zero in less than, really, it only takes about 15 seconds, but mind drama takes a lot more of the time. So I offer inbox clearing. I can help you any project that you're working on. I can offer some perspective, whether you're interested in clutter clearing or feng shui ideas, which is working with the energy of your environment. And
Mm.
coming up as well, and I think by the time this is broadcast, it will nearly be over, but I do regularly offer a 10-day challenge called the 10 by 10. And that is 10 days of small, high impact projects throughout your house. And every project can be done in 10 to 30 minutes a day. There's a video that goes with it. You get an email explaining it all. And as well, I have daily coaching to support you, not only in that project, but to teach you basic clutter clearing methodology, basic feng shui methodology that will help keep you moving and also to support you and your nervous system emotionally while you do that. So that's the 10 by 10 challenge. And the next date is July 18th. And then the next one will be sometime in September. I haven't announced the dates for that yet, but it can all be found on my website, cluttergenius.com.
Oh, amazing. And thank you for those amazing freebies. Our listeners, all of the links will be in the show notes if you're listening on podcast and if you're watching on YouTube, they will be on the description. This is an amazing episode. Like I have been taking notes and I know I'll go back and listen again. Thank you so much, Mary, for sharing your gifts with us on this podcast. Any last words for our listeners to just help them through anyone struggling right now with clutter or mental drama? Do you have any last words of wisdom for us?
Gosh, that's a lot of pressure for a few words, but I just want you to know that your past doesn't define who you are. You can do this work at the exact age you are right now. I've worked with people who are mobility challenged or everything else because I've done this work with my own mother. Whatever age you are, whatever life circumstance you're in, you can have any future that you want. So I hope that you will love yourself for who you are right now and all the successes and failures that have brought you to where you are and continue to celebrate your life into the future.
Wow, wow. This is amazing. Like this is gold. Thank you so much, Mary, for coming on this podcast and giving us your time, your wisdom. Like I truly, truly appreciate it. And I know listeners will too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's such an honor to be here. I really appreciate the invitation.
Hey, very quickly before you go, if this podcast inspired or encouraged you in any way, please leave us a review on Apple Podcast and share this with a friend. It means a lot to us, and we appreciate your kindness and generosity in doing this. We'll see you back here on the next episode. Bye bye.